So, welcome to Monday Morning Pilates. We'll actually start down on our mats. So, let's come on down into active rest pose. Feet on the mat, shoulders nestling into the mat. And to begin, let's just place our hands on the lower belly, those lowest abdominals, letting the shoulders release into the mat. Let's close our eyes and just take a few breaths right here at neutral, not trying to do anything yet. Just letting ourselves come into a sense of being here. We're here, we've arrived. All is well in this moment. We've got our mats, we've got a great practice. So we'll just let the body release into that sense of being in the right place at the right time, letting the body feel the support of the mat. Let's begin to take some slightly deeper breaths, and let's open the jaw and just gently rock the neck from side to side, letting the neck release. Then let's rock the head and neck back to center, and feeling those lowest abdominals underneath the fingertips, let's begin to just sway the knees from side to side, massaging into the sacrum. And little by little, let's sway those knees back to center. Let's position the feet about hip distance apart. And deepening the breath now, let's begin to rock the pelvis north to south. As we inhale, let's draw a nice, long, gentle arch through the spine. And as we exhale, let's pull the abdominals in and press the lower back into the mat. Let's take a few more breaths just like that. Inhaling, rocking the pelvis away. Exhaling, pressing the lower back to the mat. 3 more breaths. Let the jaw stay relaxed. Neck stays relaxed. Just the breath is working and a little bit of core. Then little by little, let's rock the pelvis back to a neutral place from north to south. Rooting down through the feet, let's keep the knees still and just rock the pelvis east to west. Let's see if we can do that without adding any tension in the jaw or the shoulders. Feeling that nice massage across the sacrum, warming up those lowest abdominals. Little by little, let's rock our way back to a neutral pelvis, east to west, pausing in the center, and let's begin to use a deeper exhale. So as we exhale, let's scoop those lowest abdominals away from the t-shirt. And on the inhale, just let them return. Let's do that a few times. If your hands are still on those lowest abdominals, you should be able to feel them pulling away from the fingertips. And if the arms are by your sides, you'll be able to feel the abdominals pulling away from the t-shirt. Let's take 3 more breaths just like this, keeping the pelvis neutral, but pulling those abdominals down and in on the exhales. 2 more breaths. Then let's continue these deeper breaths and we'll begin a marching movement. So let's let our arms come down at our sides now. As we exhale, let's lift one thigh closer in toward the belly. And on the inhale, set it down again. Then the other side, exhale, draw the thigh in close. Inhale, set it down. Back and forth, scooping those abdominals on the exhale, keeping some of that tone on the inhale. Let's do 3 more. And 1 more. Bring the feet down. Bring the right hand back behind the back of the head. As we exhale, let's curl up, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. Let's hold here. We'll take the left arm and reach it forward, pressing down into the air like we're pressing onto a little table. Then let's march from here. Hey, come on in. This time, lifting one foot, and as that one comes up, the other one comes down. So they're working in opposition. Still scooping those abdominals on the exhale, pressing down through that left palm for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. So let's bring the soles of the feet down onto the mat, arms at our sides. Let's reach the arms wide here for a moment and just rock the knees from side to side, massaging the back. And let's start to take some nice deep breaths. And then rock those knees back to center. So we'll bring our arms into our sides and begin to really scoop those abdominals down and in on the exhales. And we'll do one more round of marching for those online. So we'll lift one knee in as we exhale. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, the other leg up. And inhale, set it down. So we're going to keep going with this. For those who are already warmed up, feel free to just alternate legs. And for those in the room, keep that same shape of the leg. So the angle from the upper to the lower leg doesn't change. That way we're moving from those deep abdominals. Let's do 5 more. And 1 more. Bring the feet down. Bring both sets of fingertips back behind the back of the head. On an exhale, curl up, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. Hold here. We're going to march again. Rock the pelvis away so the lower back is neutral. Elbows are reaching a little bit forward, so we're already deep in the core. Let's lift one leg up. Exhale. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, the other leg up. Inhale, set it down. We'll keep going. You can exhale through the mouth. As one knee comes in, the other foot is pressing through the floor. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet down, lower the upper body gently down, reach the arms wide. Just sway the knees a few inches side to side. And then back to center. If you just joined the class, we'll do the same exact thing, bringing both hands back behind the head. If you already did one side with me earlier, we'll bring the left fingertips back behind the head, curl up, lifting head, neck, and shoulders, and that right palm is going to press down. And then we'll march, bringing one knee in and then down. As the knee comes up, the other one comes down now. So we're moving both legs in opposition. Really scooping those abdominals. The hand that's reaching, we're pressing it down like we're pushing it onto a table for 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down, reach the arms wide, rock the head from side to side, relaxing the neck and the jaw. Then let's bring our head back to neutral, bringing the arms into our sides, palms down. Scoop the shoulder blades down the back as if we're reaching through the fingertips. And let's bring one leg up into tabletop and then the other. Legs and feet are parallel. We're going to push with the heels, pressing the heels forward and then bending the knees to come back into tabletop. So imagine we're pushing against a weight, pressing those feet away, and then working against gravity to go nice and slow as we come back in. Good. Press away on the exhale. Slowly inhale everything back in. Let's do 5 more. Scoop those shoulder blades down the back. Reach through the fingertips like we're trying to reach to the base of the mat. The head is heavy on the mat. We're scooping those abdominals. 2 more. And 1 more. Let's bring the knees in close to the belly. Put the hands on the knees and just rock from side to side, massaging the back. Then coming back to center, let's bring the palms down at our sides again. Bring the legs back into tabletop. So the knees are right over the hips. Heels are lifted. They're just slightly higher than the knees. From here, we're going to press with the balls of the feet as if we're pressing a button, and we'll feel our calf muscles activating. Pressing with the balls of the feet, let's extend the legs towards straight. This time, inhale, exhale, squeeze the feet together as you draw the legs back in. Beautiful. Inhale, press away. Exhale, work against gravity to draw everything in really slow. See if you can scoop those shoulder blades toward the back pockets, hugging those abdominals down and in, like you're trying to squeeze the abdominal muscles under the rib cage. 2 more. And 1 more. Bringing everything in, let's wrap our arms around the legs once again. Give yourself a big hug. If it feels good to rock side to side, go ahead and do that. Then rocking back to center, we'll bring those legs back into tabletop, arms at our sides, scoop those shoulder blades down the back. This time, we'll wrap the toes, like we're curling the toes way, way down, like we're trying to hold onto a bar with the feet, and press the legs out. Exhale, inhale, draw them in. Squeeze the thighs together. Exhale, press out, really curve those toes down. Inhale in. We'll get all those little toe muscles activated. 3 more. Hollowing out the belly. Reaching with the fingertips so the arms are active. Beautiful. 1 more. And bring it in. We're going to squeeze the heels together now and let the feet come apart into a V shape. Draw the heels in close to the groin, knees apart, heels squeezing together. Keep those heels hugging in as we press the legs forward and out. Exhale, inhale, squeeze those heels tight, tight together as you draw them in toward the groin. Exhale, push. Inhale, draw in. The whole time those heels are really hugging in. Now we're getting the inner thighs activated and the hips. Pressing away on the exhale, drawing in on the inhale. 3 more. See if you can go so slow that you might be shaking a little bit, but both legs are working evenly. 2 more. And 1 more. Then let's just reach the legs up toward the ceiling in a leisurely way. Knees are a little bent. And let's paddle those feet forward and back. Like we're just on a little fun paddle boat, pressing into the pedals, flexing those ankles. Breathe nice and deep. Let's circle the ankles now. And change direction. Then let's point the toes and reach the legs up to the sky, straightening the legs. Scoop the shoulder blades down toward the back pockets, palms lightly pressing into the mat. Let's lower the legs partway down. Inhale, exhale, scoop them back up over the hips. Legs stay together. Inhale, lower partway down. Exhale, scoop back up. Moving with the breath, reaching those toes away from the crown of the head so the torso stays long. One more. Now we'll lower the legs partway down, scoop those abdominals down and in. We're gonna open into a small V shape, about as wide as the narrow edges of the mat, and then draw the feet together, squeeze them together. Inhale, open into a V shape. Exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly squeeze together. Let's do this a few times. We don't want to go too open here, just about as wide as the narrow edges of the mat. Reach with the fingertips, shoulder blades scooping down the back. Two more. Then draw those knees in, give yourself a hug, rock a little side to side. Rocking back to center, let's place the soles of the feet on the mat, finding that neutral sacrum again. Let's bring the feet just almost together so they're almost touching. Thighs close in as well. Let's bring both fingertips to the back of the head, cradling the back of the skull in all 10 fingers. As we exhale, let's curl up, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. And as we inhale, let's slowly curl down again. Let's do this several times. Scooping up on the exhale, inhaling against gravity, lowering slowly down. Elbows are reaching forward a little bit. Press the back of the head into the fingertips. So the neck isn't working to lift us up. It's all happening in the core. Let's do 3 more. Scoop the abdominals under the ribs. 2 more. Last one, hold, lifted, press those feet into the mat, lower an inch, lift an inch, lower an inch, lift an inch. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Bring one knee in close, clasp your hands over that shin, stretch the other leg long, roll the shoulders down the back, and just take a few breaths here, squeezing that thigh in close to the belly. And release, switch sides, other leg, roll the shoulders down the back, open and close the mouth a few times just to release the jaw. And release, bringing the soles of the feet back onto the mat. Let's bring the legs from there up into our tabletop position, fingertips behind the back of the head. On an exhale, let's curl up, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. Hold here. We'll extend one leg and bring it in. Extend the other leg, bring it in. Reaching and returning. It's like we're reaching for that far wall, about halfway up the wall. And now let's speed it up a little bit. So as one leg reaches out, the other one comes in closer in opposition. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it on down. Arms reach wide. Let's tip the knees to one side and hold here, breathing. Nice deep breaths. And then sway the knees over to the other side. Hold there, breathing. Relax the jaw. Nice deep breaths. and back to center. Finding that active rest where the sacrum is neutral, let's bring our palms down at our sides again, rooting those shoulder blades down the back. Hollow out the abdominals. Let's bring one leg up to the sky and then the other, pointing the toes. We'll lower the legs part way, then circle out and around and back up over the hips. Keep the legs together, lower them straight down toward the mat. Circle them away from each other and back up over the hips. Beautiful. Let's continue. Lower and circle back to center. And this time we can go as wide as we like with control. So I want to see if we can have a nice smooth motion where both legs are working evenly. Find your rhythm. 3 more. Nice and slow. Working against gravity. Scoop those shoulder blades into the back pockets. 1 more in this direction. Then change direction. Circling out and down, legs come together. Exhale, lift. Inhale, legs out and down. Bring them together. Exhale, lift. 3 more. And 1 more. Then bring the knees in as you complete that last one. Put a hand on each knee and just rock from side to side. And bring in the soles of the feet back down to the mat. Let's roll to one side so we can locate our ball. I placed mine really far away, so hopefully yours is closer than mine. And we'll bring that in. Once we find that ball, let's bring it between the thighs. Drawing that in, feet together. Good. Engaging those abdominals. Bring the hands back behind the back of the head. Squeeze into the ball, press the soles of the feet into the mat. On an exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders. We're going to reach the right elbow toward the left knee, squeeze the ball. Inhale, center, and lower down. Exhale, curl up, head, neck, and shoulders. Reach the left elbow toward the right thigh, squeeze the ball. Inhale, center, and roll back down. We'll continue side to side, curling up on the exhale, coming into the twist, inhaling to center, and lowering down. As we curl up, we'll squeeze that ball. Good control. Let's do 2 more to each side. And last one. And bring it down. Keeping the ball between the legs, let's just release the arms for a moment. Bring the knees up and then extend the legs up toward the sky. Flex those feet. Still got the ball in there, so we're lightly squeezing. Wiggle the toes. Just find some length and space. Then let's bring the legs into tabletop. So the knees will be right over the hips, heels a little higher than the knees. Let's bring the hands back behind the back of the head. Exhale, curl up, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. Next, exhale, reach the right elbow toward the left knee. Inhale, center without coming down. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, center. We'll go back and forth, side to side. As we twist, squeeze that ball. See if you can get both shoulder blades to lift off the mat. Press the back of the head into the hands. Let's do 3, 2, last one. Come back down, release. Let's release the ball as well. Arms to our sides. Take a resting breath. Feel free to sway the knees or the hips. And coming back to center, we'll do crisscross. So let's bring the knees up into tabletop, hands behind the back of the head. Curl up, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. This time as we reach right elbow toward left knee, extend the right leg. Inhale, center. Exhale the other way. Inhale, center. Side to side. 8 more. Each time you twist, hollow out the belly. Scoop those abdominals under the rib cage. 4 more. Lift a little higher. Lift those shoulder blades. 1 more on each side. Really reach. And lower down. Let's press into the feet just enough that we can lift the hips, and we'll roll our ball right underneath the sacrum. Great. Then reach those arms wide, and we'll find our bearings and our balance on the ball by just swaying the hips side to side. Feet are planted, so position the feet where you need them to feel that you can rock side to side and get a massage for the sacrum here. And swaying those hips back to neutral, let's bring the feet about hip distance apart. Let's bring our palms down on our mat. Let's lift one leg up into tabletop and then the other. So arms are down at our side. We'll need that for stability, scooping those shoulder blades down the back. From here, let's extend one leg, bring it in, extend the other leg, bring it in, extend, return, extend, and return. Good, let's pause here in the center. So we're going to do the right side only for a few breaths. If you're feeling very stable on the ball, bring your right arm up as well. We're going to extend that right leg and reach with the right arm if we're using the arm. Exhale, return to center. Just the right leg's moving. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, center. Beautiful. Inhale, reach. As you exhale to center, scoop those abdominals. Reach the left shoulder blade toward the back pocket. Let's do 3 more. Left leg stays completely still. 1 more. Then bring everything down. Feet come to the mat, arms reach wide. Rock the neck side to side. Bring the head and neck back to center. Bring the arms in at our sides, palms down. Feet are hip distance apart. Let's bring one knee up into tabletop and then the other. We're just going to move the left leg a few times, just the leg. So let's extend it out and bring it in. Beautiful. Right leg stays completely steady. There's a lot of core building going on just by that right leg staying steady. Now we'll continue with that movement. If you feel stable on the ball, you can bring the left arm up to the sky as well, and we'll just move the left side limbs. Reaching away on the inhale, returning on the exhale. So I'm having a Monday. I might just fall right off my ball. At least it's not very far to go. These movements with the ball are so helpful for bringing those little imbalances that we all have back into balance. So for me on this side, I've got to work a lot harder to hold steady. Beautiful. Each exhale, scoop those abdominals. Let's do 3 more. And 1 more. Bring the knees to tabletop. Bring the arms down to either side, palms on the mat. Heels are just as high as the knees. Let's press the legs away. Inhale, bring them back. Press both legs away. Inhale, bring them back. 1 more time. Bring them back. So I'm going to give the option. I'm not going to do this today because I'm all wobbly. I might just bring my arms like into a goal post, backs of the arms on the mat, fingertips lifted. If you're feeling really steady on the ball, you could lift both arms to the sky. And as the legs reach away, you could reach the arms overhead. If you want to play around with your balance like I'm doing, just hover the backs of the arms. And for me, that's plenty today. But feel free to go for it if you want to take that little harder variation, reaching both arms away and both legs away. Let's do 3 more. Beautiful. 2. Last one. And bring it down. Let's bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. We'll lift the hips enough to take the ball out and then release back down. Let's bring that ball between the thighs. Arms at our sides, getting ready for a bridge pose. So let's press into the soles of the feet, scooping the abdominals and squeezing the glutes. As we exhale, let's press up into bridge, squeezing the ball between the thighs, squeezing those glutes. Inhale, lower down. So that's our movement pattern. Exhale, scoop up, squeeze the ball, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, lower down. We'll do that 5 more times, finding your own rhythm. The back ribs stay heavy on the mat, scooping those abdominals in. The knees are reaching away from the crown of the head. 2 more. On this last one, as we lift, let's hold our bridge pose. Reach those fingertips toward the base of the mat. We're going to squeeze the ball, tiny pulses in, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep squeezing the ball, scoop the glutes. We're going to scoop up, tiny pulses up, up, up. It's just a micro movement. Lift, reach those fingertips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Take the ball out, reach the right leg up toward the sky. Let's bring our hands behind the back of that right thigh and reach that left leg out long. Take a few breaths here. We just worked those hamstrings, so take a little stretch, nestling the shoulders toward the mat. Then let's release. We'll switch sides, reaching that left leg up to the sky, stretching that right leg out long. This should feel really good after those bridge poses. So just gently pull this left thigh in close. Let the right leg stretch out on the mat. Let it rest. And let's bring the right leg up toward the sky as well. Let's reach with those fingertips, reaching toward the wall in front of us. As we exhale, let's lift head, neck, and shoulders and hold. We're going to reach the left leg down to almost touch the mat. Reach with those fingertips, then bring it up and switch. Reach with those fingertips and switch. We're going to go side to side. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Release the arms. Sway the knees side to side. Then let's roll to one side, coming up onto hands and knees. So we do have blankets in the back room and also little pads if you want a pad under your knees. Please feel free to grab one off the rack. Let's come into our tabletop. The other thing we can do if we've got sensitive knees is just put a little roll under our mat. But since we've got the padding, why not use it? It's right there. Either way. So we'll bring the hands right underneath those shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. Let's take a few centering breaths in cat-cow. So we'll arch the back on our inhale and round the back on our exhale. Let's take several breaths just like that. One more full breath. Then coming back to our neutral tabletop, let's reach our left foot back so those toes are touching the mat. And then let's open that left hip. So we're scooping that right glute underneath the left. Let's hover those left toes. And then let's see if we can recenter. So we're using both arms evenly. Otherwise, we'll be right on that right arm. From here, let's lift that left leg and lower to almost touch the mat. Lift and lower. Beautiful. With the breath, let's inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Put a little teeny micro bend in the elbows. Grip the mat with the finger pads. We'll get these arms really strong. Let's do 3 more. Crown of the head reaching forward. This last time that we lift the leg, let's hold lifted, tiny pulses. Up, up, up. The pulses are so tiny that we're not moving the torso, but we'll feel it in the glute muscles for 3, 2, 1. Tiny circles, teeny tiny circles with the whole leg. That's a very tiny circle. Then change direction. Reach the crown of the head away from the toes. Lift just a little higher. Lift for 1 more inhale. Then bring it down. And let's take a puppy pose by bringing those forearms to the mat and then just melting the heart, letting the head drop down. Nice deep breaths into the back body. And deepening the breath, let's bring those palms back onto the mat, softening the area around the heart just a little bit. Let's reach those right big toes toward the back of the mat. Then we're gonna open out through that right hip, scooping the left glute under. And we'll begin to lift and lower. As you lower, almost touch the mat, but don't touch down all the way. So keep that energy in that right glute. Keep that little micro bend in the elbows too. Press the fingertips into the mat like you want to leave your fingerprints here. Keep scooping those abdominals. Crown of the head reaching away from the toes in opposition. Let's do 3, 2, 1. As we lift this time, let's hold here. Tiny pulses up, up, up. Scoop up out of the rib cage like a friendly hand is lifting the ribs toward the sky. Nice. 3, 2, 1. Tiny circles, the whole leg. Little tiny circles. Reaching, change direction. Lift a little higher for 3, 2, 1. Lift that leg whole and bring it down. Knees hip distance apart. Lower down onto the forearms. Soften the heart. Let the head drop down. Deep breaths. Then deepening our breath even more. We're going to bring our right forearm onto the mat at a diagonal. Left hand stays where it was for tabletop, or maybe it's a little bit wider out. We'll reach that left leg back again. Scoop that right hip under the left. Lift that left leg and lower. We've got our weight now on that right forearm. Let's reach the crown of the head forward, but lift up out of those right ribs. Yes, feel those obliques working as we lift those ribs. Beautiful. Lift. And now as we lower, just lower to hip height. Lift higher, lower to hip height. Lift and lower, lift and lower. 3 more. Reach the crown of the head. Stay lifted. Olivia, switch your arms. Bring that right forearm down and reach your fingertips toward the other corner. Yes, like that. Good. So let's stay lifted. Lift out of those right ribs. Tiny pulses. Lift, lift, lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay lifted. Reach that knee toward the front elbow. Inhale. Exhale, push back with the heel like a slow motion kick. Inhale, forward. Exhale, slow motion kick with the heel. 3 more. And get those calves engaged. 2 more. 1 more. And bring it down, knees to the mat. This time we'll bring both forearms down for a moment. Bring the big toes together to touch. Bring the knees wide apart. We can either just soften the heart from here and keep the hips lifted, or if it's available to you, reach the hips back into a wide-legged child's pose. Then deepening the breath. Let's rise on up. I'm gonna switch sides so I can stay facing you guys. We'll bring that left forearm onto the mat at a diagonal. We've got our weight on it. So the fingertips are pointing toward the far corner and the elbows further back. So scooch that elbow back even a little bit more. That's good. That's good. Okay. Then let's reach that right leg back. Find your balance point. Put some weight on that left forearm. We're going to make these bones really strong. Then we'll start to lift that right leg and lower, accessing just a little different muscle group through those glutes. Again, finding that nice balance point where we still have length in the spine. So we're reaching the crown of the head away from the toes. Nice. Now, as we lower down, let's just come to hip height. Engage the core. Lift higher, lower to hip height. Good. Keep scooping that left hip underneath the right. Lifting and lowering. Beautiful. 2 more. Next time we lift, we'll hold tiny pulses. Up, up, up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted. Bring that knee forward to almost touch that right shoulder. Push with the heel. Slow motion kick back behind you. Great. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, push back like you're pushing against something heavy. Nice. Let's do 3 more. One more. And bring it down. We can either come into puppy pose or child's pose, a wide-kneed child's pose, whatever feels best to your body in this moment. From here, let's slide forward, coming onto the belly. We'll reach those fingertips forward, opening the arms into a V, so we're about as wide as the narrow edges of the mat. Let's reach the tailbone back toward the wall behind us, engaging the glute muscles. And let's just lift one leg a couple inches and lower. Then lift the other leg just a couple inches and lower. On our last movement pattern, we opened the hip. Here it's very linear. So it's just lifting straight up. Imagine now you're lifting from the inner thigh. Good. Now, as we lift one leg, let's lift the opposite arm and lower. Let's lift opposite limbs on an inhale, lower on an exhale. Reach and lower. Reach and lower. Each side, 2 more times. Nice. Keep those hips really centered. Then let's pause. Reach the tailbone toward the wall behind you. Really smoosh the hips into the mat. We'll lift the upper body, reaching those fingertips. Reach the toes back, just hovering them an inch off the mat. Let's hold here for 3 breaths. Each exhale, scoop those abdominals up and away from the floor. One more full breath. And release. Put your head right on the pillow of your hands. Close the eyes. Breathe deep into the back. Let's bend the knees just very gently, keeping the thighs on the mat, and just sway the legs. The hips will move too. We're just swaying the lower leg side to side. And coming back to center, let's rest the feet on the mat once again, bringing the fingertips back behind the back of the head. Lift the elbows. Press the toes into the mat. Reach the tailbone back to the wall behind you. Lift the upper body on the inhale and lower on the exhale. Push the head into the fingertips. Lower on the exhale. 3 more. 2 more. Beautifully, guys. 1 more. Hold. And lower down. Make a pillow for your head. Bend those knees. Rock side to side through the lower leg. And coming back to center. Let's bring our hands underneath the shoulders. We'll pedal up and find our strap. Once we find our strap, let's come right on down onto our back. Returning to our active rest pose. Let's bring the strap to the ball of the left foot. Just holding each end of the strap in one hand. Sole of that right foot is on the mat. Shoulders relaxed. Let's keep the leg pretty straight. We'll just draw it in a few inches and then bring it back to where we started. Just very leisurely, like we're reining in a horse, very gently, drawing it closer, and then gliding it back. Let's find a nice neutral position for that left leg. Let's hold the strap in the left hand, and let's take this right knee. We'll open it out to the right. Yep, just let it open, and let the left leg open out to the left. We can reach our right arm out to the right as well, finding a way of holding the strap that you feel supported, so you can change your hold on that strap. And breathe. And let's slowly bring that back to center. Let's switch legs. So we'll just scoot that right ball of the foot into the strap. Bring the sole of that left foot down to the mat. And again, we'll just draw the whole leg a little closer in, and then glide it back to where we started. Just getting a nice little massaging stretch for that right hamstring. Pulling the whole leg a little closer, and then back to the starting position. Then finding a nice neutral position for that leg, let's hold the strap with our right hand. Let the left knee open out to the left, reach the left arm out to the left, and let this right leg open out to the right. It might open an inch, it might go farther. Find a way of holding the strap that feels the least amount of effort. Deep breaths. Let the jaw release. And engaging those abdominals just lightly, that help us pull these legs back to center. Let's bend the right knee and release the strap, stretching both legs out long on the mat. Turning the palms up, we'll close the eyes here. Just taking a few moments of pure rest, letting the body absorb all the benefits of our practice today. Just be a sponge for all the goodness. And if there was anything that didn't serve you today, just let it wash off. Invite the jaw to release, the eyes to soften. Just scan through the body and the mind, noticing any differences from when we started our practice. Invite all the benefits to stay with you. Let's gently roll to one side, taking all the time in the world. Let's use our hands to help press our way up. We'll rise up to a centered seat, any comfortable seated position. Let's close our eyes when we get there. Bring in the hands to the heart center, sitting up tall like we're looking over a far horizon. Let's bow the head to the heart. Honor yourself for the good energy you put into your practice. May we all have hope, joy, love, light, and laughter. Thank you all so much for being here and sharing your day. Namaste.